Yes, it's Wellness Wednesday, and we are on in the closet. And I always imagined a closet big enough for yoga and big enough for all of the things. I have a whole session here where I keep my notes. I've been working on the yoga teacher training content. I've been tuning into this Yoga Best Life. It's the Chakra Lifestyle Workbook. And it is something that we do teach in the 200 hour. It is also a great way to connect and to learn more about the chakras. I'm an empath, so I speak from the space of feeling. When I was diagnosed with lupus over 10 years ago, I learned my way back to myself and that relationship with myself through yoga, through feeling, and through my connection as as an empath. And so this book is a documentation of not only my stories, but also my processes. So many people are dealing with, autoimmune challenges, inflammation, anything that is going on in your body that you aren't feeling like you have the ability to shift. You do have the ability to shift. And so this book talks about how I did that and went from lupus to yoga trainer. And now I am not taking the 8 pills a day that they told me that I would need to take. And that is a huge thing for me, taking the pills all day, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, because I had so much pain that it was either pain or numb, pain or numb, pain or numb, until I found yoga. And if I didn't have yoga teachers that were there that had learned through their own healing, if I didn't have yoga teachers that were there that had done the work in their lives, then I wouldn't have been able to tap in to the healing that I got from my yoga teachers. So when I hear people, curious if they should become a yoga teacher, I always say, where would you be if you didn't have your teachers? I invite you to explore what that looks like for you. I know that a lot of us we're the healthy one of our family. People ask us for advice. People, look at our lives and they're trying to figure out their own. And it's important to have those people in your life. And if you're that person, yes, I'm so glad for it. Every family needs one of those. And this is a way for you to take that message that you found and expand even more. This is the path of studying, the path of the teacher is where you get to be the student and you get to share the wisdom that you find and the things that you discover. And so, I love being able to share my stories in here and share my processes. I love being able to teach according to the sensations, according to the ancient practices, and then to add some new things that you may not have experienced before. Some new ways to consider the chakras, some new ways to consider your own energy and your abilities. And these pathways that are possible, I didn't change my diet because I started yoga. I yoga practice to help me find what way I never felt like I had to cut things out. I just would look for what felt good. And so whatever your gift is, maybe your gift is empath. Maybe your gift is feeling. Maybe your gift is sight. Maybe your audio. There's all different types of senses, and you may be strong in one side or the other. And so you can lean in and experience that strength. And so I'm going to show you guys some of the required readings that we have for the 200-hour teacher training. We have the Yoga Best Life, and we do work in that. This is a book that I recommend for anyone who is not exactly an anatomy person. If you don't just live with anatomy textbooks and I love anatomy so much, then this is the book for you. So for me, physics, body, we studied like one semester in high school. It was crazy, ridiculous. I don't know where they make up their rules for that. So teacher, it was new for me. And we had this crash course in anatomy in my teacher training. And while I learned a lot, I still felt like, what just happened? Like I had to inhale the anatomy book and it wasn't like not going. It's like I can't get it in there. And so I felt so confused and I felt, a little bit like I didn't know what to do. And so when I started finding resources that allow yoga to make sense and allow the anatomy to make sense. So I have this coloring book and literally coloring in so that I become familiar with the places in the bodies where these systems are. And so I'm so glad to have introduced this into the training. So this is the Yoga Anatomy Coloring Book by Kelly. So if you're a yoga teacher and you're just looking for something, hey husband, I see you in the comments. So if you're a yoga teacher and you're just looking for something to help you to get into that a little deeper, this is a tool that I use for that. So this was just my personal study. And then whenever I started a training, I did choose to incorporate this just because of that ability. Because, everyone's coming in with different things. So what I'm drinking today is from Nirvana. Support story. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll post it in my story. And look up on Instagram. It's NIRVANAPNACEA. All right, let's see how it tastes. Okay, I recently brushed my teeth, so I shouldn't have done that. That's good. It's good. Oh, I see some awesome people in here. Hey, so Danny Ray, you're on. Put the tag for your juice in it. I'm on live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. And I'm live on Instagram. Yeah, so this is good stuff. All right, so the other books that we require, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and that is an ancient text. That one we study in depth. Every week in the training, you have sutra talks, and we talk about the 4 agreements. So that's by Don Miguel Ruiz, and we have group discussions about that. And then this is a good one for all my yoga teachers out there that I really love this resource, the yoga toolbox for students and teachers. And it's been a great and a very, very useful text. And I use it even for myself, and I also love to use it for the trainings. So that, and then we have our manual, of course, and we have 2 anatomy teachers, yes, and philosophy teacher. I'm just super excited to pour into all the trainees. We actually have 3 spots left, and we always sell out of our trainings. So we have 3 technically open spots, and we also have interviews set up. So it's really a love thing for me when I get to show up and share the training with others. So we have Danny Ray is requesting to go live. Let's see if she can come on and go live with us. And while I have her coming up, I would like to talk about yoga. So a lot of yoga teachers a lot of yoga teachers get really into their practice and then they let their practice go. And so this is just a reminder for all my yoga teachers out there, your practice is important and it's valid. So what's up, Danny? Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you kind of going in and out.
Hey.
I can hear you. Hey.
I'm drinking the Frequency.
How do you like it?
It's really good. It's really good. I think even my husband would have liked this one. He gets a little like, he backs up when he sees stuff like parsley. And he'd be like, oh no.
That's what I was trying to tell him when you guys were here. I was like, this is like a strong pineapple taste with the kale. So don't be afraid by the color. But I get that a lot. A lot of people are afraid by the green color, and I'm just like, that's not on face.
Yeah. In my head, I feel like I associate with the thing that it tastes most like with the whatever is at the top. So when I first see it, I'm like, oh, so this tastes like kale. Is my first thought. So maybe if you put pineapple first.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Do you taste the kale?
Not really. I mean, I love kale, so it is not offensive to me. So there's not an offensive taste. Like it's very
smooth. I noticed kale kind of takes on the flavor of whatever else you put it with. Right? That's what I've noticed. Like, so I've always liked kale with fruit, even when it's like a kale salad and it's apples or strawberries or whatever. Like, it to me makes kale taste good. Other than that, I don't want it.
I haven't done a kale apple strawberry salad. I'm gonna have to try that out.
Because kale has like a bite to it. If you ever notice, like it's a very distinct and kind of harsh taste. And so for me, in order for me to deal with kale, it has to have some sweetness with it. But that's one of the newer juices, the Frequency, and I absolutely love it. I love it because people who never had kale are more likely to try it in that juice.
I love me some. Carl says, "What's the next thing you'll be making?"
Right now I'm working on doing a sea moss juice with like mango. I'm trying to figure out what other flavors I want to combine with it because mango is kind of just. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing. Somebody said one of my friends called kale aggressive. Yeah, somebody called. They said kale is aggressive, and the Juice Magician is on here. She says the color scares people, and Carl says, "LOL." When I said he would have liked it.
Definitely the green scares people because Green Planet is probably like one of my bigger sellers. But it took someone to just try it. And then once they try it, they just consistently buy it. Like, there's one specific guy, he always gets Green Planet. And I have to be like, it's okay to try something new. It was such a difficult task to even just try a juice that now me telling them to go outside of the one that he kind of is, drawn to is difficult too.
Do you ever do samples? Do you ever do samples?
Do I have what?
Samples. Do you do samples?
Typically no. Just because I feel like all the juices taste really, really great. And I don't know, doing samples, I would have to get little cups. And I honestly think that you have to drink more of the juice. Like, I feel like if I gave you 5 cc's of the juice, it's a real unfair assessment. Like, to know how you feel, to know, like, you may drink a juice and it may not be your absolute favorite, but then 2 hours later you feel phenomenal, and now it's the favorite juice because every time you drink it, you're going to get this sensation. And so I just feel like 5 cc's, like a little cup of juice, is just a really, really unfair assessment.
Well, I mean, but think like wine. You can take wine and you swirl it around. You can get your pinky up, then you take your little swirl it around in your mouth and stuff.
You know what? Samples may be a good idea for if I do like an event and I'm out somewhere. Versus just, hey guys, hit me up for some samples. That would just require a different level.
Oh yeah. But I mean, when you're in a big group, for somebody to pay, and these juices, because they're so good, or the ingredients in them are so nutrient dense that, the price can be a little higher than if they buy a soda. So like when people get the chance to taste it, it changes them into, and it takes them either they like, oh no, or they like, oh yes. So it's like they have that yes or no response when they taste.
Right. I think too, like I get it. I definitely get it. That's why I said for events, I would be open to like, oh, try this, just for people who normally wouldn't. But there's also this notion that, you know, when people try alcohol beverages or mixed drinks in the club, you know, there's not a whole lot of reservations because they're just like, I know I'm going to feel good if I drink it. And so I'm like, you're going to feel good too if you drink this raw juice just as well, you know, even better. And it's good for you. So that's kind of how I correlate.
Well, that's a good point. I guess it would depend on your event and who's attending. You know, if it's somebody, people who are already familiar with juices, then you won't have to like feel like you need to convince them and, you know, try to change their mind or get them to pay for the price for the juice. If they are already familiar, I mean, most times when people are selling a juice, it's because it's really good. So I say try it out. But I know for me, like, I don't like buying clothes online. I like to be able to touch it and feel it and, like, you know, so that's.
No, I understand that.
Carl said feel bad later. I don't get it, honey.
Yeah.
Maybe because it activates the things. It moves the things. The bowels.
Yeah, it does. Some of them. But here's the thing. It's not an aggressive movement of the bowels. You know, like I know that that's the fear too. Like usually people are like, oh, if I drink this, it's gonna have me on the toilet, which always is funny to me because chances are you probably need to be on the toilet. You know, if you
let it go.
But let it go. Like it's okay. And you know what? I just thought about this earlier today. For the longest, I'm talking about for years, I would probably, if this is too much, let me know because I'm a nurse and nothing's off limits. But I would have like a bowel movement every couple of days, right? So I really thought this was normal. So when I started to change my diet, when I ultimately became like a pescatarian and started doing a lot of raw fruits and vegetables, I started using the restroom every day, sometimes more than once a day, and I was like, something is terribly wrong. Like, it was just so abnormal for me. Like, I was like, I can't do this. This is too frequent. But in reality, it's actually healthy.
Right. So if you're putting in, you got to be letting go. If you're putting in, you got to be letting go. Oh, Carl says he knows he's going to feel bad later with alcohol. I learned that lesson in college, really. I feel like that was one of my big lessons in college was how alcohol feels.
Yeah. When you drink too much of it. And when you drink the wrong one. Like,
well, I tried a lot of different levels. I had a lot of different experiences. So
Oh, okay. You had the tequila experience?
I even had the experience. We were taking shots of Taka and following them with shots of Patron. No, not Patron. What was it? The blue one, Hypnotic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did stuff like that. So, but now it's to the point where I can go somewhere and I have no desire and no jealousy when other people get drunk because I've done that. I've experienced it. You know, I learned, I felt, so.
Got the t-shirt, all of that. I hear you. I, for myself, have experienced being completely inebriated. Like, and it literally only took one time. Because in that one time, I feel like I did some shit that I would have not done had I been sober. And so I was like, you know what? That's it for me. So I'm like a 2 to 3 drink minimum. Like, I just want to, if I drink, I just want to feel a buzz. And once I reach that buzz, then we can do something else, you know?
I'm the type, sometimes I gotta learn a lesson more than once, unfortunately. Cause my husband, he gets a little upset when I gotta learn a lesson more than once. That we make it do what it do.
So what you're doing is getting caught up in the moment, like having fun and just
it depends.
About it, not counting your drinks, just relaxing.
It depends on the situation, not necessarily when it comes to alcohol. Just in general life lessons, I sometimes am a repeat experiencer.
Okay.
If I'm gonna put it eloquently, as I drink my juice and my pinky up.
So what juice is that for you? How many have you had?
This is my last one.
Wow. Really?
I don't eat very much solid food since I've been working from home. I probably eat solid meals like 2 times a day. Mostly I'm smoothies and juices all the way. So like that's me. Smoothie, juices, and water.
Yeah.
And I can barely keep water in me because I can't keep my husband off me. What'd you say?
Is that how you keep your skin so flawless?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Because if you were, let's face it, if you were a fried chicken eating, soda pop drinking, I mean, and I'm not anything against anybody who's on fried chicken and soda pop. I'm just saying, like, excessively all the time, rarely drank water, really did anything outside of that, you would definitely see it in your skin. I can speak for me. It would be all over my face.
Yeah, for sure. And my hair is a big difference in what I eat when my hair does. So I like when she does her own thing. So she pretty much like it stays like this shape unless I'm sleeping, and then it'll like smash in the back.
So when you wake up, you just pick out only the back?
No, I just let it do what it do. I don't.
Oh, that's what's up.
If I know that I'm gonna be on camera though, I'd be like, or if I don't have a mirror, I'll just go like this. And any places where I don't feel roundness, I'll just pick it up.
Man, that's what's up.
But if I turn my head to the side, you will see the flatness.
But it wasn't consistent. Like your hair is consistent all the way around. I had like these long pieces that kind of curled in the front, and then the kinky stuff in the back. Like my afro was doing different things all over.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate.
I didn't appreciate it when I had straight hair though, because I wear my hair straight, like straight for 10 years, a whole decade. And I was always frustrated because I had a short patch at the top. And every time it was humid, my hair would immediately curl up. So I'm like, I just want my hair to be straight. And I would take my flat iron and I would flat iron. And at night, I would wrap it up and tie my scarf and go to sleep. And my hair is just a natural afro. Like, I was born with an afro. Literally, the pictures out the vagina. I still had the juices in my afro and on my face.
Well, good. You living up to your name. Truest form of you. Like, I gotta love that. That's dope.
Yeah. So I've cut her down and grown her out and cut her down and grown her out. And it's just been a whole experience.
Yeah. That's what's up. I like your afro.
Thank you. I love in the natural. So it's a whole feeling, it's a whole vibe. And yes, so today
it's empowering, isn't it? When you say, like, don't you feel, or you probably have done it so long, I don't know if you can still feel that sense of just.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was even when I was in the workforce in corporate America, I was exploring and feeling with that, and people would just be like taken aback by my hair sometimes, and then they realize like, okay, well, that actually is pretty cool. And so there's just these, when people respond to me, I feel that. And so it's kind of fun because I am an empath. And so I get like little zings and they be like, oh, zing, zing. So wearing an afro actually feels good. It's like the dopest thing ever. So I love it. And it defies gravity.
How often do you get people are like, can I just touch it? Can I just?
Not as much since COVID. But I also have, interacted less just because of the climate of the world. And, like everybody wants to touch the afro. But they wouldn't be able to get their fingers through it if they wanted to. Because this thing is, she thick. You make me stutter. Ain't that right? I know.
Well, I'm actually, that's so funny. Speaking of, you got your pen, let me say mine. Just because I'm about to go to the park. That's why I'm outside. And he's patiently waiting. Look at him.
Hey, doggy. Doggy.
See it?
Yes, he's cute.
Hello?
I can see him.
Did you see him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. It went off on my end, so I couldn't tell.
Yes, he's cute.
We're gonna head to this park before 5:30.
Right.
So much
well, it actually is past 5:30, so me and her gonna go for a quick walk around the neighborhood too. Ain't that right? Wanna go walking? All right. Have a good day.
You got a good 20 minutes. I'm sure you packing. Packing, right?
When don't I? I'm always.
All
right. So for everyone out there, I'm so glad that you're tuning in to Wellness Wednesday. This is your reminder to do your yoga, to drink your veggies, to drink your vitamins, and to love on yourself. And I'll see y'all next Wellness Wednesday. Peace.